So I was really privileged to be a board member on the steering board for the Lilac Review and one of the academic members supporting Small Business Britain with the research phases that's led to the report today. It was so intense to have hundreds of conversations with disabled entrepreneurs telling us in full detail some of the challenges and barriers they face trying to run their own businesses, from the simple things like inaccessible forms right the way through to physical barriers getting in the way of them going about their everyday lives. The Lilac Review is, for me, is just the beginning. This is a report that shines a light on systemic challenges, but also a long list of opportunities and options for change that not only benefit our disabled entrepreneurs, but frankly benefit all entrepreneurs and all of society. So the recommendations in the report put that challenge to all of us to do better. And coming out of the report now, we're committed to the launch of the Lilac Centre, which will be the lasting legacy of the report to make sure that training, mentoring, wider support is available to all entrepreneurs in our community. I think I was particularly involved in the section looking at local support. And the challenge we're asking there is particularly of local authorities and councils, for example, to have a named point of contact, to have someone that takes responsibility for looking at the existing provision and challenging themselves about whether or not it's accessible. Far too often we heard from disabled entrepreneurs that they were really interested in attending or participating in existing support, but they just weren't able to get involved. And so that challenge to our local and regional authorities is simply to break down that barrier and make it easier and more accessible for all entrepreneurs to engage in the fantastic support that already exists. The future and the Lilac Centre's role in that, I think, is about normalising this conversation. We far too often hear from people that are too worried about causing offence or worried that perhaps their questions or their conversation might feel inappropriate. But in doing so, we don't talk about it at all. And we've got to normalise that conversation about disability in society and what disability means for an entrepreneur, in order then to be able to say, well, what simple changes can be made throughout all walks, all areas of our support provision to make sure that everyone stands to benefit. And the economic benefit alone could be billions of pounds. The legacy of the Lilac Review I see being the Lilac Centre and this opportunity to commit to a sustained programme of support and mentoring, programs for the benefit of disabled entrepreneurs up and down the country. And I'm really proud that ARU Peterborough is partnering with Small Business Britain on ensuring that that continues. The measure of our success will be when you look back in a year, 2 years, 3 years' time, that we've tangibly started to see barriers being removed and that we find a more prosperous ecosystem for small businesses, regardless of their disability.